Hello everyone, my name is Amna from your loving school KPS Convent. As we are locked down till 14 April, so we have so much time left for ourselves. Now it's up to you whether you want to utilize your time or not. We value your time and education, so KPS Convent School is providing you digital classes because we believe in our school vision, that is to educate a child for a meaningful life. So let's get started. As you know, this is our book Pearson Mypedia of Grade 7 History and Civics, and we will start our lesson with Civics Chapter 1. So let's get started. So this is our Chapter 1 of Civics, Democracy in India. Before starting the chapter, it is very essential to know the objectives of this chapter. So objectives of this chapter is: first, democracy; second, principle of Indian democracy; third, election process; fourth, formation of government; fifth, political parties; sixth, functions of political parties; seventh, rule of law; and eighth, socio-economic, religious and political equality. So our first topic is democracy. For this I am going to show you a video. After that we will discuss it further.
Democracy. Look at these headlines. You must have read similar headlines in the newspapers where people express their views and opinions about the various issues happening across the country. In a country, if the people have the right to speech, expression, and worship, it means that the country is democratic. In a democratic form of government, people choose their representatives to run the government. According to Abraham Lincoln, democracy is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Let us find out how democracy emerged in various parts of the world. Democracy originated in Athens in 510 BC. When democracy proved to be successful in Athens, many other states started adopting it. Later, many events that took place in the world motivated different countries to accept democratic form of government. The Glorious Revolution of 1688 in England established a constitutional form of government based on rule of law. In America, the War of Independence resulted in the rights of citizens. The French Revolution of 1789 was an inspiration for the people under oppressive rule. Class distinctions between the capitalists and the working class resulted in the emergence of socialism. Socialism believes in a classless society through abolition of private property. The Russian Revolution of 1917, led by Lenin, stated that political equality without social and economic rights had no meaning. These revolutionary events led to the emergence of democracy in most of the countries. Democracy in India emerged in the 20th century. The leaders who fought for the freedom of India visualized a country in which every citizen would get political, social, and economic equality. To achieve this, the framers of the Indian Constitution of Free India opted for democracy with a representative government. Democracy is of two kinds: direct democracy and indirect democracy. In a direct democracy, people elect their representatives directly in a mass meeting. This method of election happens in village panchayats to elect committee members. Direct democracy is not implemented in countries, as this requires millions of people to gather every time to make laws and other decisions. In indirect democracy, people elect their representatives through voting. Cities and countries follow this type of democracy. In India too, this method is used for parliamentary elections.
So by this video, we understand that democracy is the system of government in which all the citizens of a country have the right to participate in the decision-making process of the government. In a democracy, the people exercise their political power by means of election, through which they elect their representatives. So our next topic is principles of Indian democracy. Principles in Indian democracy. The principles of Indian democracy include universal adult franchise, rule of law, socio-economic equality, religious equality, and political equality. We will first learn about universal adult franchise. India has adopted the principle of universal adult franchise, which is based on the principle of equality. According to this, every Indian citizen above the age of 18 years has the right to vote and participate in the governance of the country, irrespective of his or her caste, gender, or religion. Now we will talk about elections. An election is the competition between candidates of different political parties for the same position. The candidate who are not associated with any political party can also participate in election. They are called independent candidates. So there are three types of election: general election, by-election, and mid-term election. General elections. These elections are held at regular intervals, usually once every 5 years. These are held in all the regions at the same time, but over a span of few days. The first general election was held in independent India in 1951. By-elections. By-elections take place to fill a vacant seat when a candidate who represents a constituency faces death or resigns during his or her tenure. By tenure, we mean of term of office. These elections also take place when an elected member is declared disqualified from the Lok Sabha or the state legislature. Mid-term election. These elections are held to form a new government if the Lok Sabha or the state assembly has been dissolved before the completion of the full term of 5 years. Mid-term elections took place in India in the year 1980, 1991, 1998 and 1999. So our next topic is election process. The Election Commission of India conducts the process of election in India. To make the process of election easier, the entire country has been divided into a number of political units called constituencies. India has 543 parliamentary constituencies. The Delimitation Commission demarcates the boundaries of the constituencies. These constituencies are redrawn after each census so that an increase or decrease in the population of a region can be taken into account. Election Manifesto. Before election, the political parties frame their programs and policies in the form of document for the voters, which is called an election manifesto. Election symbol. An election symbol plays a significant role during election as the candidates are recognized on the basis of symbol of the party to which they belong. Every political party has a symbol approved by the Election Commission of India. Election campaign. An election campaign helps the candidate to canvass before elections. It mainly involves the use of posters with photographs, symbols and promises and made by the parties to seek votes. Public meetings are held where politicians and candidates explain their party's promises, personal and party achievements and also criticize their opponents on certain issue. An election campaign ends 48 hours before voting. Election Commission of India. In order to conduct and supervise parliamentary and state election, Article 324 of the Indian Constitution has established an independent constitutional body called the Election Commission of India. Rules and regulation of election. Any political party should not obstruct the possession and campaigning of other parties. The campaign rallies must not hinder free movement to traffic. The candidate should not appeal to the voters on communal line. The candidate should not bribe or threaten the citizen for votes. After that, casting votes. Earlier, voting was done by the putting a stamp on the ballot paper. Nowadays, with the introduction of the electronic voting machines (EVM), the process has been simplified. The names of the candidate and the symbols of the parties to which they belong are displayed in the EVM. The voters are only required to press the button against the name of the candidate of her choice. Now I am going to show you a video that will clear all the doubts about elections.
This is a village in Andhra Pradesh. The buntings, posters, and hoardings tell us that there is going to be an election. It is clear that these are the national elections. Do you know why? See the banner. It projects Bhima as the next Prime Minister. You can see that the election date is announced. The voting booth has been made ready. Holding a national election or a state election involves a lot of work. Who plans the election details? What types of governments do we have? How are villages administered? In this module, we shall learn about the election and functioning of the government. This responsibility of conducting elections is given to the Election Commission. For the purpose of elections, India is divided into electoral constituencies. In every constituency, many contestants stand for the election. They belong to different political parties. Those who do not belong to any political party are called independent candidates. The contestant who gets the maximum vote is declared the winner. Some basic rules that apply to the elections are: general elections are held every 5 years. Any citizen who is 18 years or above has the right to vote. Any citizen who is 25 years or above and whose name is included in the voters list can contest the election.
Next topic is formation of government. The political party that gets the maximum number of votes in an election is known as the majority party. It becomes the ruling party which forms the government. The political party which secures the second largest number of seats in the Lok Sabha forms the opposition party. Political parties. A group of people who share similar views on the country's political issues forms a political party. They have common objectives, values and goals. These parties work for the welfare of the people and act as a link between the government and citizens. They have two types of parties: national parties and state or regional parties. Function of political party. Political parties perform various functions. These are some of their functions. They contest election. For this, they nominate worthy candidates who have a better chance of winning. They conduct election campaigns for their candidates. They help in the formulation of public opinion. They also give us expression to the public opinion and present it before the government. The party wins the majority in the election forms the government. They enhance unity among different parts of the country and support the spirit of national integration. Now, opposition party. Opposition party. Opposition parties play an important role in a democracy. They act as a watchdog on the ruling party to ensure the country's growth. They question the government's decision and action and also raise new issues for consideration in the legislature. Rule of law. The Constitution of India considers every individual to be equal before the law. No individual is above the law of the land. Socio-economic, religious and political equality. In India, the citizens have been granted socio-economic, religious and political equality by the Indian Constitution. There should be no discrimination on the basis of caste, gender, creed, religion or place of birth among the individuals. Economic equality implies the provision of equal employment opportunities and a fair wages to all. The Constitution seeks to ensure that no worker is exploited by any employer. The Government of India implements various laws to protect the rights of Indian citizens. Also, each and every Indian citizen has the right to participate in the political system of the country. By this, we end this chapter of democracy. I hope you will understand all the aspects of democracy. Thanks for watching. Stay at home, be safe and take care.